EA Sports. It's in the game. Great play call, great pass, great reception. That play had it all.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, my swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gon' give her some. Let's reflect times, I try to collect minds from complex rhymes. And by the way, shout out Tech 9. Go and shut the up, just let me talk. I'm a time bomb that's waiting to go off. Quite nuclear, amazing what fame can do to you. Too peculiar, although I'm truly a renaissance starter. My mind divine, it take me a lot farther. Growing up, I really had beef with my father. But why bother explaining my feelings? Try harder, but either way they gon' paint you the villain. 8 months with no phone, dog, we aiming for brilliance. High level maintaining the building, we making a killing. Alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. A wise man told me that silence never betrayed him. Keep your mouth shut, cause got ultimatums. Stupid situations, the tongue often creates them. The motor mouth is usually causing mayhem.
Lil' tune, flow sinister, I'ma finish him. Many men gon' need ministers, I'm a men in them. Enemies, I'm the enema, I'ma on them just like my keys.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Play action. It's Herbert. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Herbert off of play action. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they've played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten, and they need to make sure they keep it in that order.
And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never questioning his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, oh, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Herbert operating from the red zone. And this will be caught in the end zone for the Chargers touchdown. With another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Chargers have taken the early lead on the road here at Lambeau. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Veteran Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers ready to go for drive number 1 along with the rest of this Packer offense. Rodgers throwing to start the drive. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet?
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on this good.
Touchdown, Chargers. Second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Chargers have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Lutz with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. That time a 6-play drive, and it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Rodgers' throw finds its target, Dobbs. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Rodgers to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Rodgers again now. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. On now is the Packers punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll send this one into the cold Lambeau night. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Chargers to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The numbers for him from a week ago: 16 carries, 108 for the yardage, and the score, too.
Definitely productive, including scoring his 14th touchdown of the season last week. It's going to be fun to watch the matchup now because he has a nose for the end zone. So if you're a defender, what's your job? Keep him out.
And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And some room to work. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. The throw over the middle taken in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. On 1st and 10, Herbert. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop it before you get a good head of steam going.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. And it'll be intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again to Jones. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. To throw is Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. On now is the Packers punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. But then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
A big play there for L.A. 56 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Whipping one into Allen. That's complete. And the Chargers are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Throwing quickly, and Herbert completes it. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chargers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And Christian Watson and the rest of this offense back out now.
And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route-running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. On third down, here's Jones. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. On now is the Packers punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Fielded just inside the 20. And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, on the punt return. And the Chargers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Packers with a football here late in this first half. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here. But with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I want to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. But they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
On first down, Rodgers.
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. The 20. 5. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6. Well, mistake there by the offense, Charles. They tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick 6.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tabbed as one of the best in the league the prior season.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Packers all set to go again. That means we'll see Christian Watson.
You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
So we're past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the third quarter.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. Well, the Packers ready to go to start quarter number 3. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Now Rodgers,
and this is going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Now a draw play. This is Jones. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He'll complete this one to Watson. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be 4th down. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 27. He'll hand off here to Eckler. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess, trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. On the delay, Jones. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. And the Chargers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
And he's got some space here. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. With now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Lutz with the extra point, and it is 42-0. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense, trotting back out, and he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Rodgers now to throw. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by J.C. Jackson. And he brings this one back. It's up at 6 of the Charger TD. Lutz to try to add the PAT.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season. On now is the Packers punter. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Take it at the 37. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
You remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football and picked up by the Chargers. And now off to the races down the right side. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Green Bay returning on offense, led by running back Aaron Jones. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
From the 27, Rodgers. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Rodgers gonna throw. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. Finding room at midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a... Back now at Lambeau. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Rodgers. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And there to make the tackle, Khalil Mack. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw, it's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Looking for Christian Watson that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. From the shotgun to give to Jones. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. This one from 48 yards away. Folk's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out. So it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg. And they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Chargers ready to take over. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 144 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season. Play action. It's Herbert. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns. And it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Up the middle with Eckler. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. His 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Chargers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Lutz good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally?
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And some space here. Touchdown, L.A. 33 yards. And the Chargers have 11-0 in their sights as they add on to their lead. Lutz with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Packers offense set to go. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Completes it to Aguilar. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing is Rodgers. And now here is another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. And that will wind up just short. He had it online. It ran out of gas at the end. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on and get back to practice in the next couple of days.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up. And again, it's Rodgers. Tunyon's got it on the out route. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and Charger TD. Lutz will look to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Well, fans usually...
I told my boys it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game. I'm whipping in track, I was left up suspension. I drove it so fast that I blew out the engine. I kept it too real ever since the beginning. I play offensive D, I might switch my position. Lil' mama was thirsty, so I had to quench. I'ma drive real fast, cause you know I shoot quick. Just like traffic Kelsey, I be having emotions. Just like a lamb, man, you know I'm exploding. My heart cold bad, I ain't got emotions. I'm going hard, yeah, you know I'm devoted. We running street, yeah, you know we control it. She love the kids, she be busting it over. I'm quarterbacking like I'm Kyler Murray. Trying to win, I'm up at practice early. Going crazy, I just run the jersey. It's the first half and we done dropped 30. We just hustle scoring them, boy, man. I told my boys it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game. I catch it and go to the bank. It's crazy, I'm used to the lights. I'm shining so